The new season is about to get underway in Albert Park, Melbourne. Welcome to the 2025 FIA Formula 3 Championship. And here we are again then, all set, ready to go for Formula 3 in 2025. The green light is a few moments away. Cars are in the pit lane. It's a interesting morning here at Albert Park. Track temperature is at 19.3 degrees. Air temperature 16.4. 85% humidity. Dry track at the moment. And alongside me in the commentary box once again this season is Omi. And my friend, we have a whole new era ahead of us in 2025 with Formula 3. I am excited.
Here we go, new season with a new car and lots of new drivers, 19 of them, all looking to try and continue their road to F1. Great to be back and great to get another season of this incredible championship underway. 30 car of madness, and once again we are now going to have a situation where we're into an unknown. We had it with F2 last year, now it's with F3, a complete new machine, and also a season opener being held at Australia for Formula 3 for the first time.
Green light is on and 2025 begins for FIA Formula 3 and the Formula 1 paddock. This is going to be a very interesting session. Just 45 minutes to get you to the track. Slick tyres are in operation and 30 drivers, and yes, don't worry, we'll be helping you to name them all as we go along as well. It's an interesting track here though, Omi, and I think that's what's going to be worrying a few people. Exactly what are we going to be looking for at the first time these drivers head out on the grid?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a circuit that Formula 3, while they've come here since 2023, is still a fairly new circuit, thrown in with just we have 19 rookies in total in the field. You've got a new car and you've got this Albert Park circuit which has had disruptive running in the past as well. And we only have 45 minutes of practice before we're into the qualifying session. They were out there yesterday as well, just getting a couple of laps and making sure everything is up and running for this championship. But we have got underway, and we also got the virtual safety car tests and all of that as we start the new season.
Yep, safety car tests are mandatory now across all classes to make sure that everything is A-OK and everything will be OK. So this is the virtual safety car that will be prescribed out to us. If we get that graphic for you live on screen now, there we have it. So the VSC is deployed, and it is going to be a new procedure for graphics this year, Formula 3, sharing that of Formula 1 for the first time as it has updated, and the ticker moving up to the top as well. 30 drivers to get into as well, 3 in each team: Prema, Trident, ART, Campos, Hitech, MP, Van Amersfoort, Rodin Motorsport, AIX, and DAMS Lucas Oil as well. We'll get across all of it as we go along. Rich will be joining us in the booth shortly. But I think as well, the one big thing we've got to talk about coming into this is Javier, who you interviewed pre-season for us on the JB Motorsports podcast. His championship in the Euro 3 has now been removed. Could you explain to us why?
Yeah, absolutely. So there was a lot of chaos happening at the Barcelona circuit, which is where Formula 3 were tested a few weeks ago. But this was last year, about 3 months ago. This happened last year, where we had Christian Ho, also another talented driver in this field, the first Singaporean driver. First of all, let's get an interview as we hear from Bruno Michel.
Running on sustainable fuel is completely key for the future of motor racing. And it's true for F1, it's true for F2, it's true for F3, it's true for everybody. We've been starting this development with Aramco a few years ago, because we share exactly the same philosophy than Aramco, on the fact that we need to develop a fuel that is as much sustainable as possible, and for Aramco also to be able to develop this fuel for the road cars in the future. So it's very, very important. We're reaching this figure of 100% of advanced sustainable fuel this year, but there are other steps of development that we have with Aramco in the future. But already that's a great achievement, that's a great milestone, and we're very proud of that. And Aramco can be very proud of that as well, because it's a work that we've done together.
Yeah, Aramco having the brand new sustainable fuels coming in for Formula 3 and for Formula 2 this year, as well as the virtual safety car has now come in. But anyway, do carry on with your story, Omi.
Yeah, absolutely. So you had Christian Ho, who found himself off the road coming into the first chicane, going for a dive bomb, and it was deemed about 3 months after by the stewards that it was a penalty. So you of course had the forcing off the track and all of that going on. They didn't deem it at the time. They did deem it 3 months later, and with them finishing so close in the final result by 1 point, it meant that the championship did change around and it was taken away from Javier. Christian Ho, though, also we have to say that he did drive brilliantly in that season, and he's also the first Singaporean driver in Formula 3 as well, and he'll be a driver to watch this year for the new Dams team in this series. But yeah, that was a lot of controversy. It wasn't about that Ho didn't deserve it. They both equally deserved it, in my opinion, but it was more due to the decision being made 3 months after.
Yeah, 3 months is a long time to make any sort of change like that. It sort of has worried a few people that it's going to set a precedent, only that championships can be changed after the fact. But we must stress, it's not a championship that has been changed. It was a single race result that has been retroactively changed, which was at the time a very much mistaken case.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was exactly the case where a race result was changed, which has affected the entire championship with all of the points adjusting. So that was the main issue, and that is what's changed it. But yeah, dramatic stuff, and it would have been so much better if we had the decision there and then. And even with when Javier crossed the line, it wasn't no one knew that he was the champion either. So the rules were all over the place that week. And then we have a championship changed a few months later. So in terms of Euro Cup 3, they have been a bit all over the place when it's come to what's been going on. So hopefully that'll improve, and hopefully we won't get any of that across Formula 3 as well.
Belinsky's top at the moment in the 25. So Roman Belinsky coming in, of course, for Rodin Motorsport. Lap time 1:56.927. We're expecting this to change quite dramatically as we go on and the new F3 cars build up to speed. There's a few new buildings around Albert Park, a few new grandstands that have popped up as well, a few track modifications. We already saw yesterday in the supercars event that the track was incredibly greasy, and a lot of drivers found specifically turn 12 and turn 3 as big sliding points as well. So keep an eye out for that. Sharp comes across the line with a 1:38.676. That's much more respectable for what we're expecting to see. So Formula 3 practice, then followed immediately by Formula 2 practice. Then we will have about an hour's break. Then we're on air for Formula 1's opening practice. Then it'll be F3 and qualifying, then followed by practice 2 for Formula 1 and the F2 qualifying, the last building of the day. And straight as I said, off the track goes Nicola as well, down at that first corner. Omi, with what I was saying, the rain here overnight has been horrendous, and the grass green, but yeah. Now, is that Marina Gelli, I'm going to say? Am I right there, or have I butchered it again? This is what practice is all about.
Marinangli.
Right,
okay. Yes, absolutely. Well, there'll be a lot of names which you'll need to confirm as well. But Stenshorn, a winner around this circuit last year as well. So he knows how to drive around this place. He knows how to win around this place in FIA Formula 3.
Get into the YouTube chat as well. Scott says, good day everyone, welcome to the Australian Grand Prix with JB Motorsports. And I absolutely agree with him. Smash the like button and subscribe as well. Turn on notifications, don't miss a minute of the action. So I'm going to pin that That's very nice of you, Scott, to say as well. Joshua Smith's here as well, saying good morning, everybody. Well, it's good evening, actually. It's Thursday at 10 o'clock in the UK. Good evening, everyone. Excited for the new season to start. A lot of new names to look out for. And also, can someone try pronouncing the name for Car 11? Must be one of the toughest names ever. Tenasipol into Prufazak. That's easy compared to the rest of them, isn't it, Omi? Tenasipol into Prufazak.
Well, easy this year.
Yeah.
For you were absolutely butchering that when it came to the opening round last year. But I don't think you've noticed. We've got someone else joining us in the commentary box.
Richie's here. Hey, right. I'll get him ready. Bring him into the comms box. Yeah, I can't hear the ping anymore to come in. So give us a minute. I'll just turn off the show no video participants, which is me. Press those buttons. Press that button, and all hell kind of breaks loose as we try and bring this into the commentary box. But here he is. Hello, Richie. How you doing?
I am well, thank you, Josh. I've been here for about 5 minutes.
Have you? Oh.
And I
was waiting for Jamie to mention it.
I know. I'm sitting here thinking, do I just pipe up and speak, or do I wait for Josh to actually recognise that I'm here?
Sorry.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're actually back. I mean, testing was brilliant, but we're here. Race weekend. I can't wait. And I've got to say, I'm one of the not many fans who actually enjoy this live timing. I like it on the left-hand side. I really do.
They've improved it a little bit since pre-season testing. It's a little bit more translucent, I'm noticing. So they've taken the feedback back. They've removed the black line and the red line, as I've noticed. So
which is good.
They have listened to fans for once, as we look at Rodent Motorsports on board. Be it all 30 names on the timing screen for the first time ever. I'm liking that. No more having to look into the timing screens. Anyway, Richie, what are you making ahead of 2025 then for Formula 3?
I mean, there's lots of names that I don't recognise. There's many that, came through F4, GB4, GB3 and many of the other European and, Asian series. But one driver I've had my kind of eye on, I'd say probably the past year or two, would be Lewis Sharp, of course, racing for Rodin. I've said he's going to be the champion. Obviously, in F3, it's the hardest championship to predict, but I've gone with him. I was going to actually ask quickly to Omi, of course, who knows everything about the feeder series here, who he's kind of looking at to win the championship, because I guarantee, Josh, Omi knows at least one fun factor probably about every single driver here that we wouldn't have a clue about.
Yeah, I'm desperate for him to send his own stat sheet over as well. He sent the F2 one, but he's hoarding F3 because he knows we're going to need that one the most. Hold that, Omi, let's have a word.
I actually was very surprised by it. It exceeded pretty much all my expectations. Obviously, on paper, it was supposed to be a little bit more draggy, a little bit heavier, which kind of, I guess, points towards the fact that it might be a little bit slower. But no, in general, I mean, it was already, I think on the second day of running, just as fast as the lap record in F3, I'm pretty sure, around Barcelona. So, you imagine that's only after 2 days. You imagine what we can do after a year or something. So, no, I think from my side, it was brilliant. In the high speed, feels really good. In the low speed, much more nimble than I would have thought it was going to be. And, the car feels good from my side. I think the Rodin boys have done a terrific job. So, yeah.
Omi, you can't escape it anymore, my friend. What have we got for us?
Yes, absolutely. Unless the Vulture want to throw anything else out there. No, it doesn't look like. Okay, so I'm going to have to speak. But no, I'm looking forward to quite a few drivers this year. Definitely do have my eyes on Callum Moysen, who we just heard from. Was impressive for quite a few rounds last year. Now I'll be looking to do it across a whole season. I think Leon moving to Prema with a second season, that could be helpful as well. I think Uga Chukwu has a lot of momentum off McCarron, keeping an eye on Kamara as well in the Trident. He was the Formula Regional European champion by Alpine last year. I think Campos have, an experienced lineup, so they are the ones to also watch, possibly, as all three drivers are returnees for this year. Santiago Ramos, another returnee driver, slightly wide as he continues on. I think he'll also do very well. But I think this year with 19 rookies, I think it's one of the most, I think it's one of the best grids that we've had for F3. Along with also, I think, the hardest to predict. But the driver that I went for my championship was Kamara, which I noted down. I noticed on the comms chart. So yeah, that's the driver I'm keeping an eye on. But really, there's quite a lot. There's quite a lot of drivers in there. I think every single one of them, very nearly every single one of them, definitely does have a shot of winning races this year.
Let's get into the chat as well. Google user, F1 is on Sunday at midnight for me here in New Hampshire. The Nerve, and also 12 hours of Sebring this Saturday. We're covering that. Jackson Lambros and Josh T, and we'll all be filtering around every now and then to cover an hour at some point in the broadcast as well. Radio Le Mans will be on hand to do the bits we can't, so it's going to be a lot of fun this weekend for that. Also, I want to bring in his hello to Kane. It says hello from Spain. Hola. Good evening, gents, says Adam. Good evening, Garuza. And Brad says, Josh, I appreciate the commitment. 9 a.m. in the morning in Melbourne, and you're live with F3. It's 10 p.m. here, and we are live. We'd like to call this segment for Australia the No Sleep Club to come into it. And it says as well, give me Lewis Sharp for the F3 Championship. Jamie says, Roman for champion, as Gerard Z goes wide. Omi, pronunciation, please.
Well, we're still trying to work that one out.
Yeah, is it G?
A few versions. Gerard G. There's been like those two versions that have been thrown around.
I would presume.
Z,
yes, because of the X and the I.
Gerard Z, yes.
Also,
I before E, except
I
C.
thought as well, for car 27, it was Marion Angeli. But I don't know if it's 2 L's or 1 L, which is the
It's
jet
1 L.
or G.
It's 1 L.
So I don't know which one means it's jelly or gelly. I don't know which one, so...
This is why I sent Omi over the winter a TikTok I found of how to pronounce the names of drivers. I think it was Gabriel Bortoletto, wasn't it?
Well, what did you used to say, Josh?
Gabriel Bortoletto. It was always. Because people, Megan especially, called him Gabriel. I said, it's either, but it's not Gabriel, it's Gabriel Bortoletto. If you want to pronounce it properly, it's Gabriel Bortoletto, because he's from Brazil, so it's Gabriel. You've got to put the BL.
Gabriel.
Yeah, Gabriel Bortoletto. It's like, to be honest with you, I got my own back on her, because for years, Danny Kvyat or Danny Kvyat, so she used to say to me all the time, it's Kvyat. And I said, Kvyat?
So, one question. Nail. Now, how is that pronounced? Because that looks like it could be pronounced in a very, very wrong way.
Teophile Nile.
Where?
Teophile. Is that
Teophile Nile.
Teophile Nile. God, that is a name.
Teophile Nile. Yeah.
Every year they get more interesting. Like, I mean, that name, if you say that certain ways, it sounds very bad. it goes towards a certain word that is not allowed on YouTube.
Can I just put out
You've got to be careful.
I'm going to put out my go for the championship, and that's Tuukka Tappinen.
Ooh.
That's my pick for the championship this year. I was thinking about it, and it's Tuukka Tappinen. Gotta be.
Who did Omi pick again?
Who did you pick, Omi?
I went for Kamara. I'm following the Becker route.
I love how we all went with easy names.
Ukko-Pekka Lukanoa. Let's throw that one in there, by the way, in terms of names this weekend. Where's he on the list? I read him out and I've lost him.
Stromsted's going to be one to... So it's like a tongue twister, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stromsted.
No, Stromsted, yeah. Callum Vosin, though. Have I done that one right?
Well, you should, because he was here last year, JB.
I know, but you had a go at me last year for getting it wrong. This is what the first practice is all about. It's just... it's weird.
Right, Callum Voisin. We go. Weird.
So,
for the British driver.
Josh. Yeah, 2022, by the way, Brad.
I don't listen to F1 TV, but apparently, according to Brad, I sound like the guy with the afro. No, I don't watch F1 TV, so I don't know who that is.
Both of them are from Birmingham. That's why.
Who is it?
Sam Collins.
Oh, he's from Birmingham.
But I was he was, yeah. He's a Brummie, isn't he? Or very nearby.
Let's have a look. Sam Collins. He's from... Oh, no, I can't find... Hang on, I'll find him. He's from Hertfordshire.
Hertfordshire.
I don't know.
Well, that's great if we can't even pronounce our own country names. This is going to be great for F3. Here's Ugo Ukachua, though, coming in to turn 1. What?
Interesting pronunciation. Ugo Gachiku. So.
What did Josh say?
For God's sake. We literally did Macau together, Omi, and you said that was right then. Have you changed it now?
Ugo Ukachuk. Yeah.
No, I said Ugo Gachiku. I mean, I've been saying it right for about since 2023, because I had to commented on him in Macau in 2023.
Right, Ugo Uchuru.
No, Ugo Gachiku, sir.
I'm just going to call him Ugo.
Also,
He's a
another
fast
driver I'm
driver.
actually quite interested to see is Brando Badoa.
Now, yes, this I asked Omi at F3 testing and was very happy to announce that he is the son of Luca Badoa. So which I find hilarious.
Now, am I going to say bad for saying who is that?
Oh, I feel
Oh no!
Ferrari?
I've said
Luca Badoa. Luca Badoa was a Formula 1 driver in the 1990s, whose last race, I believe, was in 1995/1996, then came back in 2009 for 2 races when Felipe Massa had his injury in Hungary. He debuted at the Grand Prix in Belgium, and I want to say Valencia as well. Valencia in Belgium.
So he
yeah.
retired for like 15 years.
And came back, yes. Because
Oh my.
he was the test driver for Ferrari throughout all of the Schumacher years. And in 2009, after Massa's accident, it was originally planned that Michael Schumacher would come back. But Michael had an injury in his neck from a motorcycle accident a couple of months before, and it hadn't quite healed the neck. So he couldn't race. So Ferrari gave it for 2 races to Luca Badoa before signing Giancarlo Fisichella for the Italian Grand Prix onwards to the end of the season.
How did he do, Luca Badoa, being as he was retired for 15 years? Did he do any decent?
No. Last, crashed in qualifying, crashed in the race.
Oh.
Last.
Oh,
Last.
no.
He was the reason the 107% rule was reintroduced in 2010.
Really?
Really. He was that
Oh,
bad.
my.
I think it,
You know what, though?
I think-
Fair play on him.
I think in practice in Valencia, he was something like 15 seconds off the pace.
Oh, my.
And that was in the 2009 Ferrari, by the way. I think the final straw came when he said there was no power in the car and absolutely he could do nothing with it at the Belgian Grand Prix, stuffed into the wall in qualifying, but Kimi Raikkonen went on to win the Grand Prix. Ferrari's only victory that year when they went toe-to-toe with
my.
Force India. So yeah, there's a... yes. There you go.
Interesting story.
Luca was such an odd choice for Ferrari. They were kind of left with nobody else. Ferrari's development program back then was non-existent. The only one they had as test driver was Luca Badoa. They had to put him in. There was no one else they could do.
Where was Fernando Alonso in that year, then?
He was at
McLaren?
No, he was at Renault.
Oh, Renault that year.
And then he signed for Ferrari later on in the year.
Ooh, Kamara's flying. 4 tenths up on defects time at the moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, Josh, I don't
Yes.
know if you agree, but I don't like that new purple sector colour. It's lighter.
Oh, it is actually, yeah.
Ooh, no, I don't like that.
Thankfully, I just look at the timing tower. 32.6 first sector, 21.5 second sector. What's the third sector for Kamara? He'll come across the line shortly. Noel Leon goes up to 9th. Kamara, however, it's a... Well, come on, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. It's a 40.7 and he goes fastest overall with a 134.901. Good time then from Kamara. Alex Blundell and Chris McCarthy are on the call, and they're going to be the F3 and F2 commentary team this year as well. Right, let's catch up with the chat. I was in Barcelona last year and saw Mari Boya's win. Go Mari Boya. I think if I'm not mistaken, hasn't Mari Boya made the step up to Formula 2 this year, Omi?
No.
He's still in here.
With us in Formula 3, and yes, he did take victory on home soil last year.
Who is he? Do you know, for a stat sheet, well, they're not exactly here, are they? For all 30 drivers, where is he? Mari Boya, number 10, Campos. Let's have a word.
It started in F3. It's been a long journey since here. Started go-karting in F6, and from there on, just growing and improving myself, not as a driver but also as a person. And yeah, just to be here is already a privilege, and I would just do my best to make sure to I mean, in the end of the day, you just want to do your best and have no regrets after, and of course enjoy this moment that is very unique.
Rafa Camara there coming in the broadcast as well. 22 minutes to go in the opening practice session of the year for FIA Formula 3. And he's got all 3 sectors purple so far coming into it. Most of them, all these guys are new as well. Sorry I can't get to the chat. Luca was such an odd choice for Ferrari because of the 3 teams in 2010. Well, yeah, they introduced it because of that, but it was brought about, the 3 teams for the 107% rule, but it was brought about because of how bad Bradoa was. They were all worried about how the new teams and new drivers were going to be. It all sort of kick-started from there, from Luca Bradoa, because there was actually, I think, a drivers' meeting saying that it was dangerous for him to be there. So, yeah, it wasn't great. Spread more fake news than Elon Musk. I was there! I was there in 2009. I've got the battle scars to prove it. I remember the terrible Kerr's cars and the McLaren woes and Ferrari's heartbreak. I was there. I remember Eddie Jordan's flowery shirts more than anybody. I've got the battle
Weren't you having
scars
fun on social media? With people trying to say that you aren't right?
Oh my god, I was having that guy. What was that even about? I've forgotten. Oh yeah, refueling was reintroduced in between 1994 and 2009. Originally, it was a way to improve the show for fans because they wanted to see more pit stops, and the teams themselves wanted to add more strategy to the races because the same lot were winning again and again and again. So the cars were getting lighter, so they thought, okay, let's bring in refueling, it'll help all around. And then somebody on Twitter said, well, that's not true. I was like, it is true. Me, motor racing journalist, knows everything there is to know about Formula 1 compared to a random person on Twitter. Really, really annoyed me. Formula 2 and Formula 3 are very much Omi's department. I'm just a mouth on legs.
Mouth on legs.
Omi's going to be hosting some of these races. Well, I say hosting, leading some of the commentary this year for F3 and F2. There's quite a few clashes, isn't there, Omi? So you've got the call with JT as our producer. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I'll be around for some of those. I'm hopefully going to be at many more of the F2 and F3 races this season.
Sounds fantastic.
Very nice.
Can't wait.
Because to be fair, I do love the F2 and F3 action. I think it's quite nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, very excited.
Right.
Very excited.
Brad has asked, why were Honda banned for 3 races in 2005? It wasn't 3, it was for 2 races. They got excluded from Imola, and then they got banned for 2 races, which was the Monaco Grand Prix and the Spanish Grand Prix, but Spain then went into Monaco as Callum wasn't locked up at turn 1. The reason BAR, Honda at the time, British American Racing, got banned from 2005 and lost their podium from the San Marino Grand Prix was because they had an extra compartment in the fuel tank, which meant that they could run the car underweight during the Grand Prix. So it was a little cheat there, and it was quite very much. It was very much a grey area in the rule because the rule dictated back those you still had to have the litre of fuel at the end of the race to weigh for the cars. And basically what they could do was they could add more fuel into the cars, they could run longer into the Grand Prix, but still have that kilogram, or litre as it was back in those days, of fuel for the analysis. But after San Marino, they realised that the FIA realised that there was a second tank inside the fuel tank. So they drained that, and when they drained it, they realised that the car was significantly under the minimum weight gain. Now, that doesn't mean too much in the race, because obviously what they could do in the race was fill up the extra tank and they could go longer in the race than anybody else. What it mainly affected was qualifying, because they could run dramatically underweight in qualifying. So they were using fuel basically as ballast, and that's why Button got a pole. So they got banned for cheating. Button went up to the commentary box in 2005's Monaco Grand Prix ITV. And then when they came back in Canada, they came and made a statement. Button got pole position. And then everything just went, nuts because Renault had an electric start plan and got off the line and jumped into the lead before the first corner. They were on short fuel loads. Yes.
Have you saw what they are asking that you should be signed up onto? So
Sign
one of them says eggheads, mastermind your naked attraction.
Look, nobody wants to see me on Naked Attraction. Nobody. I can guarantee you that right now. Although I've had compliments in the past, so anyway.
Dear me.
Moving
What a
on.
start to the F1 to the new, what is it, F3 season? Or would you say
F3.
F1 season?
I'd say it's a bit of both. It's day 1, isn't it? Everyone's back at school for the first time. But yeah,
The
moving on.
Australian Grand Prix.
Naked Attraction, though, would be quite funny. Or they'd
certainly would.
rise the screen up above my knees and all you'll see is a microphone. Pair headphones.
Literally.
Yeah, pair
Headset,
headset, yeah. Oh dear. 2 wing covers over my nipples. Dear me. Well, we're past Watershed. We can get away with anything nowadays, can't we? Tim Chiminats goes top at the board with a 134.892 for the first one. I would go on Mastermind, but I'll terrified I'll do a Murray Walker. As we're going to hear from Tim Chiminats now, who has spoken to FI's Formula 3.
For sure, I learned a lot. I think it was one of the seasons where I learned the most. But for me, the biggest takeaways from last year are probably the qualifying sessions, like in general, as it's all about qualifying in F3. And I had some qualies where I wasn't in the top 12, and it's always so important to be in the reverse grid order. So, yeah, qualifying was for sure the biggest point to work on. But I feel good, still quite relaxed, just looking forward to the first quali session, and hope it will be a good one.
Headset and pair of LH44 boxer shorts.
Oh dear me.
My boxers are actually grey, I believe, right now.
No LH44 on them.
No LH44. Actually, if I could take my top off here. Careful, everyone. I have got on, underneath my shirt here, an Obi-Wan Kenobi. And it's the original Obi-Wan Kenobi. T-shirts. It's one of my favourites.
Very nice.
I am,
Very nice
however,
indeed.
I have done an outfit repeat. I do apologise, but I'm wearing the same thing I was yesterday on the Grid Network show. So I've had to I've worn the same clothes 2 days running, and there's a very good reason for that. Didn't get dressed yesterday until 7 o'clock at night. So they were only on for about 3 hours. I thought, well, may as well just put them back on today, save a bit of laundry.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I knew that was going to be
Don't lose that.
Yeah, what's the point? I'm warm in
dear
these.
What a start we've had here. What a
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
we've had.
Can't wait till we get to F1 when Megan joins us.
I know. Is this a replay to turn 1? Someone going deep. That is not ideal. Nearly done a Valtteri Bottas there. Not ideal there. But Gerard Z, I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to go for. Gerard Z. Because you've got Steven Gerrard.
He's Chinese.
Same spelling.
Well, Chinese pronunciation might help out a bit there.
I mean, to be fair, I do have a brother that knows Korean, so I might ask him, see if he knows.
Joshua Dufek's gone out onto the circuit. We're on board now with Nicolas Lacourte. Lacourte. I was going to add the E, but sometimes you don't know French, do you?
Yeah.
Which doesn't help because
Nicolas
he's
on this
Italian.
bridge.
Yeah. Doesn't help because he's Italian. I've had a complete Murray Walker moment there. I don't know why I said French, because I was going for Italian. But Nicolas Lacourte, who is Italiana.
Lacourte. There we go. That's actually quite. I actually do like that name. Quite a nice name, Lacourte. Sounds more French than Italian, if you ask me.
Marina Gertli is stopped on the circuit, apparently.
Yes, I just saw that. Yeah, Marine Angeli. I suppose that's what we should go for. Marine Angeli.
Me?
Well, I'm going for the nearest. I'm going for the nearest correct option, which is Marion Angeli or something.
Marion
like
Angeli.
I'm going to go on Google and have a look, guys.
This is going to be a really difficult season. I think that one we may as well just hand it to Omi. He's been teasing me all weekend, though, about it. Well, actually, all pre-season. He's literally said, good luck with that one, Australia. I was like, yeah, thanks.
All right, looking forward to the Porsche Super Cup later this year.
Oh, my God. Bruno De Pino now is coming on. De Pino.
Bruno Delpino.
We will pronounce it as Marinangeli.
Marinangeli.
But if you want to say it properly, it's Marinangeli. That's how it's said on Google.
Marinangeli.
It's actually, no, I didn't know this. Have a guess where you think the name came from.
Where?
What? Argentina.
Argentina.
It's an Argentinian name given to Spanish children.
Can't we just call him Maid Marion and get over it?
So, Marinangeli. Is how
Marinangeli.
we should say it.
Marinangeli. I'm going with it. I'm agreeing with Omi. Marinangeli. Okay. Qualifying's going to be fun later on. Just jibbling.
As they all come flying through.
Yeah. Dribbling.
Even I can't say his name.
Oh, Tenasapol Interprovazak.
That's easy.
Intraprovazak. There we go. You got Intraprovazak.
We've had a whole season of that.
Yeah.
We were used to that round one.
Uga Chukwu. They're all coming across the line together. Oh my.
I'm going to...
Poor Josh.
Omi might have to take that one so I can hear them.
See, I can say Intrapuvazak, but I can't say it quickly.
Tenacipol Intrapuvazak.
See, I like I can't get it right.
It's day one, folks. Day one. I had this in Bahrain last year. That's the point. Everyone says Bahrain wrong. It's Bahrain.
Bahrain,
Yeah.
isn't it? Bahrain.
Yeah, Bahrain.
Right, I'm lazy and just say Bahrain.
Yeah.
Like it's
Bahrain.
Qatar, but Qatar or like Qatar. But I call
either.
it Qatar.
Qatar.
It's Qatar.
Qatar.
It's Qatar. Is how it's pronounced. Right, we say
Qatar.
Qatar. Qatar.
I suppose so. It's just preference, isn't it? Let's have a replay, I believe. Unless we've got a... What's going on here? Timing towers are falling off our screens. Oh, no, it is a replay. This is going to be for Louis Sharp. Locked up at turn 3. Yeah, it's turn 3 and turn 12. That's the key points. Turn 1, turn 3, turn 12. That's what we're seeing a lot of lockups in the Super Cup and now in Formula 3. And we saw it as well in Supercars, as well as the Porsches.
Oh yes, because they was on earlier on, wasn't they?
Yeah. Their races up after F2 practice, I believe.
So right, so F1 practice is on in around 3.5 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go early for prediction, so you have nothing. Josh and Omi, bets for the race win for F1.
Oscar Piastri.
Ooh. Omi.
Okay, well, as you haven't let me think, what I'm just gonna do is... Well, okay, I'm gonna say that it's gonna rain. And I'm just gonna use my years of experience of watching Kimi Antonelli to say that he's gonna somehow win the race in the rain.
Oh, really?
Oh, wait. I remember
Yeah,
that.
I'm just gonna go bold all the way to the ceiling for the opening round.
Not practice, sorry. I remember it in test, and I said to Omi, I said, or it was at least one time when I spoke to him in the VC, I said, why did you go for Kimi Antonelli? He said, well, you never know. He wants to go for something a bit different. So I'm not surprised he's tried to say Kimi Antonelli, but I'm going to be boring because, let's just put it out there, I think Leclerc's going to win the championship.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Or
on
I think the race winner is going to be Max Verstappen.
Oh, boring! That's so old. Only Michael Schumacher.
Oh, well, JT's here this week.
Oh,
so.
hello. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Only
No, he's not
Michael
here
Schumacher.
now.
I was going to say,
Well, he did for F1, yeah.
only Michael Schumacher has won 5 world championships in a row. Not even Fangio did it. The only drivers to win 4 in a row: Fangio, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen.
Vettel won
Schumacher.
4, not 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The only ones to win 4 in a row.
Oh, I thought you said 5. I was like, hang on, what?
The only ones to win 4 in a row are Fangio, Schumacher, Vettel, Hamilton, and now Verstappen. The only drivers to win 5 in a row is Schumacher.
If you think about it, though, Hamilton was 1 year out from winning 7 in a row. If you ignore
Yes.
2016,
Yeah.
14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20. I mean, that is scary, isn't it, really, when you think about it?
I'll hand you that one, yeah. He did try, though. Everybody, do you know, I love Lewis Hamilton, and I love Max Verstappen, and I love Nico Rosberg for going, Team LH, jump on me there. But the one time I've fallen a bit out of respect for Lewis was that 2016 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Nico had him banged to rights. It was a great race from Nico. It was a great mind game all season long, and Nico thoroughly deserved the World Championship. Yeah. I didn't like the fact that Lewis deliberately backed Rosberg into Vettel and Verstappen on that last few laps. And if Vettel passed Rosberg, the title was gone. I didn't like that.
I actually think it was quite good because, don't get me wrong, as much as it would have sucked to see someone lose in that way, it was very clever of Hamilton to do it.
Oh yeah, clever, but I didn't like it. It was a bit of foul taste. And before anyone goes on me, I didn't like how 2021 worked out. Max is a deserving champion, but the whole situation in 2021 let a good season down. It's why everyone's excited for this year. Go on.
What about Sergio Perez's defence?
Perez's defence in Abu Dhabi 2021 was legendary.
Because isn't that similar to what Rosberg and Hamilton did in 2016?
Yeah, no, in many regards, because Perez defended for his teammates. It was kind of like Lancelot fighting alongside King Arthur, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But what Lewis did was purely a desperate attempt, whereas Perez was playing the team game. Perez was doing it of his own accord, and Lewis did it to try and benefit his own cause. So there's sort of a moral grey area. I get where you're coming from.
I'll let you have it.
Yeah, but there's a moral grey
let you have
area.
it.
Let's have a word. Who are we on the circuit with? It's a replay, that's right. Coming in. This is a lock-up and straight on for Roman as well. Belinsky in the 25 in Road Motorsport. Oh, and a big slide now coming in as well for James Wharton in the ART. Just running a little bit wide. The home boy on home soil here in Australia. And just kissing the Aussie grass, getting loose to Albert Park's wonderful nature reserve.
Oh, interesting. So I'm looking through here on.
We're going to have a red flag. Louis Shaw stopped on the track, and out comes the yellow. I wouldn't be surprised. 6 minutes to go. This is the end of the session.
First him already.
Yeah, Omi, what do you reckon with this, with a red flag? Because it's right in the. There's no extraction point there, is there?
Yeah, absolutely. Just some smoke also coming a little bit more further on from the camera, but that looks all to be okay. But not what the driver, who was at the Race of Champions 1 week ago, would have wanted. But it's still late on in the session, so he's got a lot of running in. And if he's going to bring out the red flag, then at least no one else will be able to get much running in anyway. And are we going to get our first red flag of the season? Looks like we're headed that way, and we have.
Yeah, red flags out. Well, they kind of had no choice. Go on, Richie.
Right. So what I was saying originally, can someone remind me, please?
I don't know. You're looking at Google. He said, "Oh,
I
this is
forgot what I was
interesting."
saying. Yeah, I forgot what I said. But I was saying something which was actually quite interesting at the time. Oh no, I've got it back. I remember. So, this season is the whole thing with the yellow and the black on the F1 cars at the top. On the top of the halo, is that assigned to first and second drivers? Because I'm looking at the screen now, and Fernando Alonso, Lando Norris, Yuki Tsunoda all have the yellow cover, whereas like Max and George and Charles all have the black. So I thought it was first and second driver, but I guess not, unless they think Oscar Piastri and Lance Stroll are the first drivers.
Usually, the black is assigned to the driver who finished higher in the championship.
Well, they've messed that up this season. Thought, nah, let's not bother. So they've all gone for different things, because that's weird.
Sometimes
Yeah,
it is as
very
well. Sometimes it is based on the numbering system. So black for one, Lando would then be next on the board, so he would have yellow. And Alonso black, Stroll yellow. So you can see how it goes 14 to 18. So it's sometimes based on the numbering system. But they always change anyway. It's like that's how we identify the drivers in these series. Session is likely to be resumed for practice starts only. Which has to be allowed at the end of the session. New rule for 2025, Omi, isn't it? After they debuted it last year, but they've actually made it official this year. If a session can't be resumed within 2 minutes, it will be resumed for practice starts. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. And these lot do need it as well, with these new cars as well, which has had mixed opinions, we have to say. Loads are saying that it's massively different. Loads are saying that it's quite similar as well. So different fields for the different teams, and lots of data gathering happening at pre-season testing. With F2, there's a lot more talking points, which I'm sure we'll get into with the F2, as there's been a lot more drama going on related with that. But with Formula 3, just looking to get everything settled in with this new season. And we'll have qualifying later, that will all go well. And then it's all eyes to the race. The race is going to be interesting because these cars are supposed to race even better than what they extraordinarily already did. So it will be interesting to see how much better are these cars when it comes to racing. That will be the big idea, because we'll have these cars for a couple of years now. So we need to see how good they are when it comes to racing.
Pit lane's incredibly tight here at Albert Park. They did try and redo it a couple of years ago to give them a few more inches. It's literally just that, inches, that have been added in. Not the greatest pit lane in the world. Session will not be resumed by race control, and the the rule should be that because we're now within the 2-minute rule, we will at least go back out for practice starts out there. But I'm worried that might not happen because the digger on the circuit, the truck collecting Sharp's car at turn 3. It's kind of niche point there. Let's have an interview quickly with
It's quite hard to describe, to be honest. It's been a long time leading up to this. Last couple of years have been really strong for me, and I knew that going into 25 there was a possibility I'd be in Formula 3, and then I saw at the start of last year that we'd be racing in Melbourne for the first time for the first race, and I was like, I need to be there. So I tried to do the best I could last year, and obviously I'm here now, and yeah, I just can't wait to show the people from Australia that I'm actually Australian and that I am one of them, and yeah, I can't wait to get started this weekend. Tomorrow morning in FP is going to be super cool as well.
James Wharton there talking on as there is Sharp wandering back behind the safer barrier. Kind of a bad design actually, looking at it at the circuit.
Yeah.
So sessions are going to be resumed. Go on, Emmy.
Yeah, Roden driver walking away there. Everyone back in the pit lane. So, of course, more data now being gathered. I think it's also worth mentioning 16-inch tyres now for the first time in Formula 3. Also, Dams, of course, who've been in Formula 2 for a while, make their debut this season in Formula 3, replacing Genza, who we thank for the long amount of years that they've raced in this championship, and we wish them the best of luck with F4 and all of the other series that they will be entering as well. But yes, just getting the basics out of the way, making sure that we've done them in the practice session here in Formula 3 as we continue this weekend, and we'll get to qualifying later on. That will be quite a lot of fun to see who's going to take pole, but looks like Trident and Kamara looking dialed in.
Checker flag, metaphorically, of course, comes out, and the session wraps up for P1 here. And the only time the drivers will get out there on the circuit for this opening practice session, the 2025 FIA Formula 3 season. Qualifying up later. Any predictions for pole position, Richie?
I wouldn't have a clue where to start.
Not a really representative session, that was it, though?
Intrapuvazak. There we go.
What about you, Amy?
I mean, I don't think he will, but you never know. I just saw his name first on my sheet, so...
I'll go with Tim Chiminats. I think he's got a good shot there. He'd sent a lot
I know
of
a Tim
sensitive times.
Chiminats, so I know a Tim Kramnitz, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I said that all year last year, waiting for you to pick up on that, and
Thanks.
it's never come. Not even in 2025 has that come.
Tim Chaminitz, then. Sorry.
Yes.
I know
After a year.
I know exactly why I do that, though. Chimney. It's the same. It's the same in my brain.
Chimney, Chim Chiru.
Well, you can say it backwards, which is Josie Ali Exmas Kajifali Rupus, but that's going a bit too far, don't you think?
I wouldn't have a clue.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
You can say it backwards.
Yes.
Say it again.
Docious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. You can't say it backwards, which is. Oh, I've lost it now. Don't put me on the spot like that. Anyway, let's go through the results. Omi, your turn in hell.
Thank you very much. Here we go. The opening results of the season. Kamara and Trident looking dialed in at the front. Tim Travanitz in second, with Mari Boyer ahead of his teammate Nicola Solo. Stromstead is in fifth for Trident. Interpruvazak puts 3 campers in the top 6. And then we have Hightech TGR 7th and 8th, with Dufek ahead of his teammate Stenchum, who was a winner here last year. GST, the Williams Academy member, in 9th. Santiago Ramos, one of our returnees as well, for Van Amersfoort, rounding out the top 10. Leon, who's moved to Prema in 11th. Callum Woyden in 12th. Bruno Delpino in 13th. And then it's Belinsky, Ugo Chukwu, Louis Sharp, Charlie Wurz, Bedrin, Lawrence Van Hoopen, and Teofil Nile, who is in 20th position, as we go to third and final page then in our opening practice session of the season, with 45 minutes complete. Gerard is in 21st, and then we have Zagazeta, Tappinen, Lacorte, Badua, Dominguez, Poe, Zagrera, Wharton, and Marin Angli, who's in 30th position, 3.8 seconds off the pace for AIX.
You can't just say it backwards, which is Dociali Expos Fragicali Rupus. But that's going a
What
little...
about Indrapuvazak backwards?
Kazva Upulakti. Sounds Klingon. I don't know. Anyway, my thanks to Richie, my thanks to Omi. The first session of the year, complete here in Albert Park. We'll be back later on for qualifying for the first time in 2025. Stay with us though, 20 minutes. We're back for F2. See you then. Bye-bye.